it's true that whatever you think about, you become. And whatever you focus on, you spend your time on that, and then you think about that more. I've been looking into YouTubing and putting stuff on YouTube, putting videos on YouTube. I've been looking at putting videos on YouTube, examining the strategies and everything that's involved. There's millions of videos on YouTube about how to YouTube. About how to be specific in what you're offering, and about the kind of storyline of your videos, about the thumbnails. In a way, it's good to do research and to know what people with experience think, and what their experience has taught them. But at the same time, I don't want to just think about how to YouTube. Like, that's not my goal about how to be a quote successful YouTuber. But spending my time watching these people teach about what it means to be a successful YouTuber, or what it means to have a successful YouTube channel, it makes me think of just how to have a successful channel. Like, I'm only thinking about success. I'm only thinking about all the information that I've heard from these people. And I mean, maybe it is necessary to listen to their experience and then apply that to my own thing, what I'm trying to do. But then again, just like in this past week, I've kind of become a little detached from my focus, my mission, my purpose, my desire to help other men overcome the pain caused from divorce. And helping people see that there's a future for them. That there's a future for you, that of this darkness that you're in, that there is a way out, and other people have already taken the journey out of their darkness, showing you that it's possible, and how to kind of accumulate, consolidate videos into one resource for you, so you can go through and hear other person's testimony. I guess that's the short version of it, sharing testimony, and which is the pain of life and the overcoming pain. And connecting with another individual who's taken time out of their day to share with you that there is hope. I mean, when you hear a story that is hopeful, that matches up with you, that it can be that spark in your life. It can be that spark in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul, to help you move on from this pain, instead of just staying in the pain. And so I want to be able to share that. I want to be able to help people get out of their pain. Because that's, this is what helped me. It was hearing somebody else's story. Like when I was completely hopeless, all the hugs and encouragement in the world were great and were needed, but they didn't show me that there is a future. It wasn't until I heard somebody's testimony that they have gone through the same thing and they had found a future. They had found a spark that helped them live again. They found a way to live again instead of just survive, which unfortunately so many people in our country, in our world, are just surviving. It's extremely unfortunate. Since we were made to live, we all know when we have that spark, that hope inside. And so many people are just numbing out, TV or substances or whatever. And I want to see people live. Live the best life that you can possibly live. Maybe these testimonies aren't the only way, but it's what my experience showed is the most successful way, is the proven way for me. We shouldn't be just spending our days watching other people live their lives. We should be living our own lives for ourselves. I hope I can help even just a few people start living their lives again. What a great, great thing that would be. What a great use that would be of the pain that I endured. If I had to face pain in order to realize that other people need help finding ways to live, finding life. I don't know if it will be worth my pain, but at least my pain would be used for good. And that brings me joy. That makes me feel good. You know, that pain isn't just useless. That it's not just God wanting to hurt you. It's not just God letting the devil hurt you. It's It really is. As hard as it is to accept, it really is for our good. Hopefully we can apply that knowledge to every part of our life. Whenever something isn't good, doesn't seem good, we can realize, like, man, I've already pretty much died and been brought back to life. Nothing else can really hurt me. Like, I know God has already proven that He is working this out for good. So no matter what the situation is, no matter what the pain is, no matter how severe, holding on to our faith and knowing that no matter what, this is going to end up with a really, really good thing. And yeah, there's pain now, and God knows what He's doing, and God is loving, and this is going to work out for me. Like, somebody means to do evil to me, but God is going to use this for good. What a beautiful thing to know and to be able to apply to every single situation in life, no matter what. God is allowing this because it is going to result in something fantastic for me. The pain hurts, but something so good awaits. Just right around the corner. Just keep on pushing through, keep on having faith. And these are messages I need to hear. And I think really that's the purpose of the church. The church isn't for you to go and hear a sermon, hear a lecture, and then leave. I mean, maybe that's part of it sometimes, but I think most of the time it should be sharing testimonies. It should be encouraging people to live and sharing beautiful stories of overcoming struggle and how life is just fantastic. And encouraging people whenever they're having a hard time, and meeting together with people to encourage each other, to keep doing good works, to keep strong in the faith. But that's not what the church has become. So often I find myself not a fan of the modern day church. There are some churches, some groups that meet that I would say represent what Jesus intended for the church to be. They are what Jesus intended, the gathering for His people to revive and support each other. You know, most of the time you don't find support in a sermon, in a lecture. And a lot of times, people inside the church don't even know each other. But it's supposed to be a community of believers who have relationships with themselves. We're there to encourage one another and spur to spur one another on to good works. Like in James and Hebrews, it's like, don't stop meeting together. We have to meet together to encourage each other, to spur one another on to good works. But when we stop meeting together, we just become isolated. And we kind of get in trouble when that happens to us. Oftentimes we pick up new things, new guilts and shames to carry with us. Because God didn't make us to be alone. When we're alone, the devil attacks. And with these testimonies have shown me that it is vital for us to be around each other and to confess, to admit, to speak about the things that we're struggling with, so that other people can be there to support us. I don't know if it's just how churches have become, or if it's people just are afraid and kind of use it as an excuse. But kind of often it seems that people won't be really honest at a church because they're afraid of being criticized. They're afraid of critical people coming down on them while they're being vulnerable. In a lot of ways, I think that's the devil. Like in a war, in a battle, and I don't know the right word, in a conflict, but the enemy is always sending in spies, right? Sending in people to become part of a group to destroy it from the inside. Maybe that's happening in our country now. And that's happening in our churches now, I believe. That the enemy has sent people to become part of the church. And a lot of these people have become elders and deacons and preachers even. And they are just wicked. They're just hurtful to other people. They're cruel. It's like they're not understanding and they have no compassion for other people. They just aren't loving at all. Which amazingly, I don't understand how we let it happen. These people that are so cruel and so loveless just have no compassion being the leaders of our church, when Jesus says, hey, look, the whole purpose of your church, the whole purpose of me coming, the lesson I want to teach you is to be loving, to love one another, to be united, whenever you're united, whenever you are loving to one another, you're showing God to other people. You are representing Jesus in what you're doing. Like the greatest commandment and the fulfillment of all the laws and rules of the Bible is loving one another. How have we accepted elders and preachers who are just critical and cruel? It's a sad day for our church. But we can't just accept that and like avoid the church because people in the church have started corrupting it. No, people in the world need love and need to see love and need to see what love really is. Yeah, like helping each other without expecting anything in return. The world pretty much just knows like business, you know. I help you do something you need, well give me money. But that's not really love. I think love helps without expecting anything in return. Or else it's not really love. It's like manipulation. But may we find ways to show love to people without expecting things in return. Just giving freely the love of Jesus that He has freely given us. Being gracious and accepting of people. It doesn't cost us anything. Why do we expect other people to pay for something that doesn't cost anything? But I hope here that we can help you. That these videos can help you. That we can start a movement that corrects churches. That makes church a place that hurting people want to go. where they're not going to feel condemned or criticized, where they're just going to be accepted and loved. God, in the name of Jesus, may churches just be a place that people go to find love and acceptance. That's what churches be known for. What a great and amazing thing that would be. May churches be known for love and acceptance. I need to write that down. Alright. There we go. May churches be known for love and acceptance. Be a place people go. They are looking for hope. Hope and love. Our fox is getting really comfortable. Hello, fox. That looks like a cat. Nope. I moved and it took off. I was going to change the camera so you can see it. It was like reddish and gray. May church be a place that people go and they're looking for hope and love and a reason for life. Everyone is looking for purpose and meaning. Why don't they go to the church? Because the church has a big, big problem right now. It's not known for love and acceptance. It's not known for grace and hope. It's known as a place of judgment. And that's the work of the devil. That surely is a sign that the devil has infiltrated the church. church is known for criticism and judgment and rejection. Well, it's the opposite of what Jesus taught. Let's change this one person at a time. This is 6/12/21. The Church of Jesus. Be known as a place of love, acceptance, and encouragement. What a great place that would be to go when you're hopeless. The church is what people need. The real church, not this fraud of a church that we have now. This is a place that people need. It's a place that people are searching for. Let's change this messed up system that we're in. Let's revive the church. Build the temple. You know, in Haggai, it so spoke to me. Because, I guess one, it mentions my birthday, right? It's like, this is the day I started my work, and it calls out the day I was born. Granted, that passage was like 3,000 years ago, but God uses his Bible to speak to us today. And remember, we need to apply his teachings to our lives today. And in Haggai, he tells his people, it is time. I want you to rebuild my temple, to rebuild my church. Like I started this work on December 18th. Started this work on the day you were born. The day you were born is when I started my work. Maybe you haven't fulfilled your potential yet, but that was the day that will change everything. God, let us all live up to our potential. What hope it gives to know that there's a plan that God has for each of us, that we have potential, that we have purpose. May it revive our spirits so we can revive this world around us, so we can do the work that we're supposed to do. It's one of those things, our purpose, the plan that God has intended for us, that we each have an individual plan. And nobody can do it for us. No one can accomplish your purpose for you. It's you that has to do the work. It's you that has to face the challenges. You turn to other people to support you. You turn to other people who like their purpose in your life is to encourage you. But you have to do your work that God gave you. Nobody else can or will do the thing that you were intended to do. That thing that's on your heart, it's not necessarily on anybody else's heart. Well, occasionally, you may run into a few key people that share the same mission. It could involve a different group. It could be directed towards a different country or a different culture. But if you don't stand up into your purpose, the world will be lacking something that it needs. Other people will never receive what it is that they were meant to have access to. So identify that thing that sparks you up. It might be something different in different seasons and different times of your life, but identify that thing, that purpose, that the thing that makes you live and the thing that makes you excited, that kind of takes your breath away. And live out that thing. Live that thing out. In Jesus' name, please, God, let us live out our purpose. have to think about that for a while. Gotta meditate on it. Marinate in it. What an amazing world we could be in if people selflessly gave of themselves. If people weren't selfish with their time or with their attributes or with their energy, where they place their energy from day to day, but people were concerned with the others. What a great place we could live in. Be heaven on earth. May we impact the world with love, acceptance, and encouragement. Building people into the people God meant them to be. Just imagine what that could look like. Yeah, man, man. It's like a picture, bringing men together, help give men confidence and belief in themselves, especially after divorce. And just all your confidence has been rocked, just been stolen and taken, and you have like no belief in anything anymore. But that's the most vital time to give love. It's the most vital time to be around people that accept you, that will encourage you. So that's the most vital time for you to give encouragement. It's the most vital time for you to give encouragement and for you to give acceptance and hope to somebody. Forces you to see something hopeful. Wow, my thoughts just completely went rogue. Jesus, why in the world did that happen? Mm. I just randomly started thinking about my 10-year-old son grabbing a pistol and starting just to start pulling the trigger. And then I was trying to stop him because the gun was loaded and he didn't know it. He thought it was unloaded. So he decided to pull the trigger. And it shot my baby girl. It shot my daughter. Guess if something like that did happen, I sure would need a place of love and acceptance. A group of people just to love me without criticizing. But right now, even in my own church, I can picture a couple people that would be critical, that have been critical over things that they really didn't know anything about. They were just older and wiser and telling me what mistakes I made. It was just the most hurtful thing for them to say. At a time when I was in so much pain and I hadn't been to church in, I don't know, a year maybe. Because I just didn't feel worthy of the love that they gave. But then I went back to when I was a little better and a little recovered, I went back to the church and looking for that love that I couldn't accept before. Just to have one of the older, recognized people that sometimes fills in to preach say to me that I didn't do enough to save my marriage. It was the most absurd thing was he had no idea. I shared with him the struggle one time. And he came over to my house one time to drop off a little chicken coop thing. But he was here for like 5 minutes. And not knowing my situation, it's like the words that came out of his mouth made me leave church. And, to that actual church, to that gathering, I never went back. And then they stopped having that gathering eventually. And I wonder, this guy is one of the more recognized individuals in that group. And I wonder if he played an impact on that group disbanding. Maybe I wasn't the only person that he was judgmental and critical towards, that he ran off. Until now, I'd only looked at that situation from a personal perspective, that how bad that hurt me and how ignorant he was while he was making such a harsh and critical judgment. But I would probably be willing to bet that I wasn't the only person that he did that to. And now that church group has moved over to another facility. Some of the people from that group that the cruel guy was in, they now have their own church. And it's not everybody, but several people are from the first group are now in the second group. They go by a different name. And that guy that was cruel, that hurt me when I was down, kicked me when I was down, kicked me when I was trying to get back up, guy's not a part of the new group. Or I haven't seen him at the church. Man, he so hurt me. And he prolonged my suffering. He prolonged my darkness. You know, he was. I went to the, I had gone to the group. It's a Bible study we had on Tuesday night. It had originally started out as a men's group. That was just fantastic because men need to be around other men. And for some reason, the women started getting incorporated in it. And then, which, you know, it's good on some aspects, but really, you know, there are times when men just need to deal with men. There are times when women just need to be with women. And it just changed the dynamic of the group. It turned it away from an intimate time together expressing thoughts and feelings and learning how to become better men together. It just turned it into a Bible study where you get a workbook and guide you through a few Bible verses, and then you come together on that Tuesday night to read what you had already read in your own personal time. You know, it's kind of lacking anything special. It seemed like it just turned into another religious requirement that you were supposed to do because the church doors were open, instead of a time of just sharing love and just acceptance and just being there for each other. So I don't know if this guy who he has been a pastor, he's a missionary, kind of like he builds wells over in Africa for people. He does good work. But there are seemingly always a few people who are just cruel in the church. Who stand out and not for a good way. Sometimes they don't stand out so much as being vile or hateful, but they're just kind of, sometimes they just seem like a shell of a person, where they're so just refined and retained by religiosity, by the laws and tenets of their religion, that they don't really live. They don't shine. They're just religious people there. Without having any real excitement. They're just like, they just seem like drones. And that's not the life that Jesus came for us to live. Jesus came for us to live a life of excitement and love. So anyway, that's my thought. We all have a part to play. We all have a work to do. We can all contribute. And when we do, that will make us live life. When we start helping, that will fulfill us beyond anything we have ever felt before. It's like we get personal satisfaction when we do something and then we receive acknowledgement, or we receive love of some flavor, some kind. But to receive fulfillment, that greater thing, you have to give love. And then when you give, you receive so much more. So I hope today's talk has helped. And I hope you live the life that you dream about. The beauty, the amazing, love-filled, excitement, encouragement-filled life that helps other people live theirs. So I hope you have a great day.